Hello there. My name is Clodagh. I am 27, no I'm not, I'm nearly 27, 26 years old, and I'm from Ireland. I am here today thanks to IBD Medical. They've asked me to take part in their Finding Your Community, the Diabetes Edition campaign, which is an unbelievable campaign that is talking about that is getting people within the community to talk about how they found people in the diabetes community that supported them, and how the diabetes community has helped them in their diagnosis, in their journey as being type 1 diabetics, and type 2 diabetics as well, and how it's just helped them and supported them. For me, I am actually going to talk to you today about body image and weight gain and weight loss in terms of type 1 diabetes, and how the community really helped me to come to terms with that and just understand that there are people like me out there. So for me, I was diagnosed in 2019 in December. As you can see, I am quite a bigger person. I am plus size. I would have had or would have a lot of weight, carry a lot of weight on me anyway. So when I was diagnosed with diabetes back in 2019, I had one of the main symptoms I had was weight loss. I lost a lot of weight in quite a short space of time. I lost about 15 kilograms in maybe 6-7 weeks, which is quite a lot for somebody who wasn't actually doing anything. For me, looking back, I actually knew there was something wrong. Somebody like me who struggled a lot with losing weight and gaining weight as a result for such a long time, I started losing weight and I wasn't doing anything, and I guess I liked it. I didn't listen to my body at all. I knew that I was losing weight for a reason. I didn't know what that reason was, and at the time I didn't really care. I just wanted to, I guess, keep losing weight, and that is not the way to go. So I wasn't listening to my body screaming out to me, being thirsty, being tired, bathroom fatigue, everything. I had all the symptoms, typical textbook case. So fast forward then a couple of weeks, and I'm in hospital and I'm diagnosed and stuff like that, and I start taking insulin, and I'm being told that it's a great drug, it's going to help me, and I know now, like, it's something that has saved my life basically. For a lot of people, or nearly everybody, it completely saves their lives. But also the warning that I was going to gain back weight as a result of it. Now, the one thing to understand is when you gain weight back, when you start taking insulin, it's not necessarily weight. 99% of what you gain back isn't necessarily weight, it's muscle, because your body is after breaking down a lot of muscle back when you were in a DKA state, and that's what happened to me. So I gained back, and then obviously I gained back a bit more than that, because I do struggle with weight anyway, and that took a lot out of me. In terms of, I struggled a lot coming to terms with the fact that I was gaining weight, and I just associated diabetes with it so much, and I blamed myself, and I blamed this insulin, and I blamed everything, and I literally just hated it. I hated diabetes, and I still do. Like, I'm not gonna pretend like it's my best friend, but I felt awful, and I always had this thought, and it's still sticking to me, even saying it out loud, as I want to be as skinny I was when I was sick, and that's not a nice thing to feel. And knowing, even saying it out loud, knowing that it's not something I should want, because when I lost all the weight when I was sick, I wasn't skinny. I wasn't like skin and bones like some people are. I looked normal. I looked average size. I was maybe a size 12, like. But for me, I knew I had lost a lot of weight. But to look at me, if you didn't know me, you would not have seen that. So it's easy for me to think that I wanted to be that size again. But I think for a long time I just thought I was a bad person, and I had these horrible thoughts thinking that, and I had a horrible reflection of what I felt about myself and how I looked and stuff like that. So about a year into diagnosis then, I started my Instagram account, Clo T1 Diabetes, and it's there that I kind of started to realise that I wasn't crazy, that it was a pretty valid thing to think, in terms of it's understandable that I would think like that, and that I wasn't crazy, and that I wasn't somebody who, I wasn't on my own, basically, that other people felt like this, and that it was a struggle that other people felt, because up until then I only saw, or I only felt like that, oh well, other people who are type 1 diabetics are so slim and they don't feel the way I feel, and they always talk about how, oh, they don't want to be that size again, whereas I had the complete opposite thought of that. But from getting involved in the community, and both in Ireland and the UK, I found that there are people like me who had those thoughts, and like I've discussed it with them, and we're having these open conversations kind of normalizes it a bit. Not in the sense like I shouldn't feel like that, and I obviously don't want to be like that, but it gives me comfort knowing that I'm not alone. And now I've come to the understanding that I, of course, don't want to be sick again, but that I'm not alone, and that it's something that I've, I guess, in a way, separated from my diabetes. My weight now, it does have correlations between, to an extent. I do understand that, but I think just understanding that it's not just me. I'm not the only person this size who was a type 1 diabetic. And the other thing is, with type 2 diabetes, a lot of the time is there is a correlation at time with weight and type 2 diabetes, and it does happen. And I think there's a lot of bad connotation around that, which needs to stop. Like, there is a really, really bad connotation about it. Like, a lot of the time, somebody I don't know, if I say that I'm a diabetic for whatever reason, it may come up in conversation, I feel like they initially look at me like, oh, of course she is. Like, look at her. And that's an awful thing to think, and maybe the people don't think that, but I do believe that some people do, and it shouldn't be. If you meet somebody who is diabetic, don't ever make an assumption. I'd never make an assumption about anybody, and that is one that you should never make, because there's such a negative connotation about it. For me, my type 1 diabetes, I didn't do anything to cause it. I didn't. There are people who are Olympians who have type 1 diabetes, and they didn't do anything to cause it either. And you need to understand that. And I've only come to understand that by talking to other people in the community, talking to people of different sizes from different countries and different ages who've gone through the same experience I have. And it literally just gives me some comfort knowing that. So that's kind of what my point I wanted to get across today is, with diabetes and weight gain and weight loss and body image and stuff like that, it may happen, but to understand that you do have control over it. And the one thing I would advise is to talk to somebody. Don't keep it in. There will be somebody out there, so reach out to anybody online, reach out to me. If I don't know what you're going through, I'll find somebody who will, and anybody in the community will do the same. Everyone is very open, both in Ireland, the UK and the world. So that's me. That's my story for the day. And thank you so much. And if you want to follow me over my Instagram and reach out and we can become friends, it's Chloe T1 Diabetes, and I can't wait to see you over there. And yeah, thank you so much.